All right, everybody. Sorry for the delay. Second half just starting to get stick going here, and I was going to do a live stream as I said, but was going to try to do the entire first half, but unfortunately, some friends in town that got pushed back a little bit. Just so you guys do know, I am going to probably have about a 10-second delay or so, but it is what it is. I mean, that's what I have. So if you guys want to watch the live stream, feel free and go ahead. Troy, as you guys know, we're going to start the second half with the ball, and hey, um, you're going to fumble right off the bat. Not, I'm sure you guys know and watch. It's not ideal start for Detroit, but you know what? Very few things do go your way for an entire season. So it is what it is, and Detroit's going to have to power through it. Montgomery, trying to get a little bit more than he could. Unfortunately, just got strip sacked there. But going to move on and keep going on and see what the Lions can do. You're going to have to respond to adversity without question. So it is what it is. Let's see if the Detroit defense, who I'm sure you all watched the first half and said, hey, it didn't really look great if you ask me. But, hey, they're going to have to play through it, I guess. All right, so anywho, trying to play a little catch up here and trying to get some things orchestrated. So again, apologies if my full attention is on the game. And yes, do keep in mind, I do have about a 10-second delay. And it's not an ideal start for the Lions, as you guys are all watching. So if you watched the in my video yesterday morning, you knew that I said, hey, this is a must win for us, in my opinion. And Seattle coming in, I felt a lot of people overlooking them, and that seems to be unfolding right before our eyes right here and now. But hey, Detroit gets stopped, try to get something out of it, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case. And we got a tie ball game, as you guys are probably all seeing. You guys may have a faster connection than me, unfortunately, with me not having cable. Gonna watch the Lions real quickly. Less than a minute in, find themselves tied with Seattle. So if you guys have any thoughts on the game, fumble. Exactly. Dr. Detroit, not a great way to start it. And that's, like we were talking about in the video yesterday, that you gotta prove to people you're not the same Detroit Lions they've seen for the last 20, 30 years. And unfortunately, right now, you're seeing a lot of reasons why people would say this is the same old Lions. So see how they respond here. You guys know we're probably in a little bit of a commercial here, but so I'm going to try to finish getting things set up. Keep chatting in the chat section, but stop. I get it. People are going to come after you until you prove that you're somebody different. So, right now I'm going to say this: Detroit's got to come out. They got to regroup. They got to respond and quickly, because Seattle just got a gift on the opening drive of Detroit the second half, and eBay. But very, very few things throughout the entire season go perfectly, and I'm sure if you're at Ford Field, I know a bunch of people are right now, they're probably a little stunned at this moment. And the Lions, you got to rally. Doesn't matter. Something didn't go your way, suck it up, and pack up, get after them, get the lead back here. So you got to respond. Can't worry about what didn't happen on that drive. You got to worry about what you can control now. So again, I'm sorry if I'm a little distracted as I try to get everything set up here. It's just I wasn't really planning on doing a live cast at all today, but because of some changes in my schedule, I was able to get home for the second half and see what I can do here to try to get this thing going and rolling and try to catch up to everybody here. So, all right. So how important a drive is this coming up for the Lions? I mean, the flea flicker, I was talking to some people who are watching the first half, and I said, I expect a flea flicker today. And what do you know? The very next drive, it came out and happened. So Lions, though, man, oof. And again, if you're just joining, you've probably going to notice I have a bit of a delay. It's just the connection I have here. There is a delay, so you guys will probably see plays a little bit before me. Dr. Detroit, you're 100% right. St. Brown, here's what I'd say. From what I was watching the first half to what I'm watching now, Kansas City set a pattern that every defensive coach is going to pattern and replicate until we prove we can beat it. What is that, in case you're wondering? They're using bracket coverage on St. Brown, double coverage, whatever you want to call it. They're going to say somebody else has got to beat us today if it's from the Detroit Lions. And, I haven't been saying, hey, we have to get another receiver, someone to pull coverage off, Mike from Tampa Bay, Evans, whoever it is. But you got to do something, because right now other defense coordinators are saying, hey, we're not worried about anybody else as far as receivers for Detroit. We're only worried about one person, and that one person is Amon-Ra St. Brown. So Lions are going to have to do something. I get Jameson Williams after this game comes back in about another month or so, but that's still a lot of games this season, a big portion of your season and your schedule. So they've got to do something to alleviate that. Otherwise, this is going to happen for a long while. Nice big push downfield. Speaking of St. Brown, beat the double coverage there. You could see they had safety high over the top there on them with somebody playing underneath. And that's an incredibly hard pass to complete time in, time out for any quarterback. So if you're going to expect him to get in there and do something a lot, you're asking a lot out of any quarterback. So anyways, big drive here for Detroit. They can come out, put some points on the board, you regain the lead. That'll go a long way to trying to help their cause here today. So we'll see what shakes out. But another run here, going up and to the sideline. Nice big response. Lions, they're pushing the ball down the field, and that's what we need to see. All right, just trying to get more of this stuff, set up here. All right, so anyways, flag on the play, though, unfortunately. Let's see what it is. Face mask, all right, on Seattle. And again, you're probably seeing things faster than me. Maybe some of you don't. I know sometimes when I go a lot of the pubs, sports bars, whatever say, if you got direct TV, you probably see it a little bit delayed versus the cable feed, and that's basically what I'm facing. So if I'm going to do a bunch of these live casts, I'm going to have to try to figure out, one, do I want to upgrade that? Or two, are you guys just going to be okay with me being a couple seconds behind? And maybe I'm the same as some of you guys. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat these live casts as a coach cam. So you see the formation we've got on the D. They've got everybody up there anticipating run here. Detroit's made the right adjustment. They're going to go with play action. And now you've got numbers. Now you've got an opportunity. You've got a touchdown pending the flag. But let's see what the flag is, because we all know the flag can destroy everything. But Detroit did the right thing. You saw against Kansas City, and you're seeing it for the most part with Seattle, that they're dropping 8, 9 guys up into the box and saying, you can't run it. And unfortunately, it's going to be an ineligible receiver downfield blocking before the ball was out of Goff's hands. So Josh Reynolds a little early on the blocks. Otherwise, Detroit would have had the lead again. But nice play call. So let's just focus on that. That's watching the replay. That's a pretty real weak call there by the official. But doesn't matter. You're going to fall apart mentally and emotionally because you didn't get one call. You're not going to make it in sports or business. So Detroit's got to just say the heck with it. Get over it. Next play. You got 1st and 20. You still got the ball. You got 3 tries to get a first down here. So that's the coach speaking me. Now you see Seattle has only got 7 guys up. They're playing more pass coverage. Detroit tries to run it, and, they're going to get nothing out of it. Give me a second. I'm going to turn on my overhead light. So, Detroit still got to be focused on getting the lead back here, which things didn't go your way in the opening drive of the second quarter. So be it. Get over it. Now you get a pretty bad call that I'm sure the officials will get talked to about. But, officials are like players. Nobody's going to be 100%. Nobody's going to get it right all the time. So you've got to be strong enough to get over it. Goff with a nice pass here. All right. St. Brown starting to get open a little bit. And again, probably going to end up saying this 10, 20 different times. You know, you guys are probably, most of you are seeing this feed just a little bit before I am. So apologies for that. All right. So St. Brown getting more action this half as far as routes and designs. You can see they're using mixed routes to try to get him open and break that coverage. And now he's on the sideline. Probably the same ankle that he tweaked a little bit in the preseason. But anyways, you got a shot here with that second down. So now you got 3rd and 5. Excuse me. You got a golden opportunity here. You got a guy in motion testing the coverage, giving an additional blocker. And yeah, this run's not exactly going to do it. So decision time for Dan Campbell. You take the lead with 3 points or potentially take it, or do you go for it on 4th down? And we'll see what gambling man Dan decides to do. St. Brown coming out on the field, 4th and 3. Dr. Detroit, you can hear me talk. How delayed would you say my stream is? Am I 10 seconds, 15 seconds, or longer? Let me know in the comment section below if you guys can. And that will probably play a factor in what I have to do with the cast going forward if I'm going to keep doing these live casts. About a minute behind. All right. Well, wonder if there's anything I can do to speed it up here. So maybe 40 seconds. All right. Well, we'll just say significantly, but looks like a 1st down Detroit. And I'll see if maybe there's something I can do. Gosh, I'm trying to think what I can do today. TD. All right. Well, spoiler alert, if you're watching me, expecting me to give you the play-by-play, but potentially there's a TD, and I'm going to assume it's for Detroit. All right, so I might have to get the stopwatch out here and see how delayed I am, but I'm going to guess I'm about 2 plays behind. So we're going to say, yeah, Dr. Detroit's probably right. It's probably about 40 seconds to a minute, and you know, it is what it is, guys. There's nothing I can do about it today, so apologies. You can let me know what's going on in the comment section, though. I appreciate that, Dr. Detroit. Yeah, 2 plays behind. All right, so be it. So anyways, you know, not to just, I guess all I can do is, you know, say what's in front of me, but you look at the formation here. You got a play action rollout, Goff looking. Hits Laporta, so yeah, maybe 2 or 3 plays behind. Yeah, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about today, but I'll try to address it for the future. What I will do after this live cast, though, is I'll end it and then start a new one, excuse me, for the post-game show, and then we'll all be on the same page at that point. Is what it is. Goff, though, you've heard the announcers talk about it. I'm guessing anybody who's a Lions fan has talked about it, noticed it for some time, that, you know, he's matured into a pretty good quarterback. He's not great, he's not elite, but he's not far off from being elite. And there's the touchdown to give the Lions the lead back. Montgomery back in action. You know, in fact, what I'm going to try to do is see if maybe I can reload it and it will maybe catch up a little bit of time here. Maybe I can close the gap a little bit. So, but yeah, I think that might do it a little bit. On mine, there's a commercial now with Patrick Mahomes. So, Gary, let me know. Are you seeing the Kansas City quarterback Patrick Mahomes in a commercial right now, or is that still behind significantly? All right, how's the rookie linebacker looking so far this year? So if you're talking about Campbell, I think he looks exceptional for a rookie. I get they're also monitoring how many snaps he gets because let's also be fair, Derek Barnes, Rodrigo, Alex Anzalone, they're all playing at a pretty high level too. The linebacker position isn't what it was a year ago. It's actually pretty deep and playing at a good pace. I'm not going to say Pro Bowl, but not far off of upper echelon linebacker play in the NFL right now. So what I'm going to keep doing, like I said, during the rest of this second half, is I'm just going to announce the formations and tell you guys as a coach what I'm watching out of both the offense and defense. The Kansas City game, if you watch that first half, live cast that the Sarge, Tony, the Bredo, and I did, we talked early in the second quarter. Kansas City says, hey, St. Brown's killing us in the first quarter. We're going to bracket coverage him or double cover him and force the Lions to go elsewhere. That took about half the game for Detroit to really kind of get over. And even though they did end up scoring and taking the lead and then getting the win in the fourth quarter, you could see their offense was significantly halted or stalled because of what Kansas City did. It was my opinion coming into this game against Seattle, we were going to see that same coverage the vast majority of time until Detroit proves they can beat it. So what are we seeing? We're seeing two people committed, one underneath, one over the top, sometimes press coverage, sometimes underneath press with a man cheating wide. What that's also allowing the defense to do is drop 8 people into the box and giving a couple of people, particularly in the middle, the option of either going after Goff or shooting gaps out wide into coverage to take away flat routes, things of that sort. So somebody's going to get to Goff quickly, and it's going to cause a lot of problems with the running game because the offensive line, the tight ends and stuff, as far as blocking, it creates a lot of situations where they're horribly reliant on correct communication to figure out who's blocking who if it is a run. So while Josh Reynolds against Kansas City did a pretty good job, I'd say, helping us out, he's done a pretty good job today as well. He's just not consistent enough where anybody's pulling that coverage off and saying, hey, Josh Reynolds is going to beat us if we leave him one-on-one 90% of the time, 80% of the time. He's just, at this point, not able to do it. Outside of the first drive for Detroit where they scored, the only other time they scored was on the flea flicker, so a gimmick play that caught Seattle off guard. This last drive, they were able to pound it out, run a lot of wides, some play action, and hit Seattle. But it's my opinion, Detroit wins this game. They've got to really consider getting on the phone to get a legitimate, number one receiver to be Batman to St. Brown's Robin. And there's the first time you've probably really seen pressure, at least on my end, against Seattle and Geno Smith. Keep in mind, they've got a bunch of people out right now on that offensive line, and they're still blocking. You can probably also see on the screen, depending on if I'm back to being on time with you guys or not, St. Brown's having that ankle looked at that he's had worked out in the preseason. So not only is he maybe a little injured, but he's getting a significant bulk of the defense's attention. So, all right, if you are watching, if you can, hit me up and let me know, am I back on pace with you guys or not? Seattle on 2nd and 5 runs a counter up the middle, maybe gets 2 yards there. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys are able. See if I've caught up to you guys at all. All right. So 21-14 Detroit. Looks like St. Brown's going to be okay from what I can see. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. This would be a big stop for Detroit. 3rd and 2. Now you see Detroit's primarily playing pass coverage here. They've got 5 on the line, and one of them is going to drop, I'm going to guess, based on the call out there. One of them does not drop, but the problem is, I don't think, well, it might have worked out for Detroit there because, the guy didn't really come out of his route after the catch looking to go upfield. So Seattle's going to be about 4th and 1. Still about a 1 minute off. Okay. Yep. I've got 7:21 left, and you've got, so I'm down to about 40 seconds versus a minute. All right. Seattle, 4th and 1 here. Detroit got 9 up in the box. Let's see what they do. Seattle is going to hand it off. They are going to get it, unfortunately. So speaking of, the run up the middle, I was a little surprised that both Broderick Martin and Isaiah Buggs still were left on the inactive list. So, I know we talked a little bit about Buggs before the season. Clearly he did something to fall out of favor with the coaching staff, whether it was just his play on the field or whatever it may be. I'm a little surprised for the second straight game. We're going, in my opinion, very thin at one of our weakest spots, and that's defensive tackle or up the middle blocker. Again, another opportunity to sack the quarterback and another missed opportunity. The D-line now not stopping the run at all. I agree, and that's set up to play action. We get the pressure, but, just over pursuit. Geno does give him credit. He shakes the pressure by stepping up, avoiding the rush, and then hits the pass. So a problem last year for Detroit. Again, this year is not looking any better, stopping the run. Pascal, just so you know, Dr. Troy, he's going to be out for a couple weeks. Apparently, he ran into some sort of injury or illness about the middle of this week. And then Dan Campbell revealed on Friday he's going to miss a couple games. Didn't disclose what it was. Hutch, McNeil, I'd say they've been non-factors at this point in this game. Another delay run up the middle. And again, Detroit is getting smoked up the middle. Yes, he is the only one with an excuse then. Yes, correct. Just kind of surprised that they elected to do that. And again, that's with going into this game knowing that Josh Pascal was not going to be playing. So you're relying on a lot of snaps on some guys who don't, like Levi Onwuzurike, who haven't played much. And Ali McNeil went out in the first drive with an injury. He has come back, but another play action, another rollout, another catch. Going to be another first down and a little bit more. Yeah, Carter would sound great right about now. Correct. It's probably not what anybody wants to hear, but, you know, Carter's at a position that's going to typically impact a game more than the running back, even though I think Gibbs was a nice pick, and especially since with that trade back, you got Gibbs and Laporta. But is what it is. Detroit's here now. First and goal. You guys probably already know if they scored or didn't, but I'll just keep announcing they're going to go with 12-man personnel, Seattle that is, and then go big, try to probably just keep pounding it down Detroit's throat. And why wouldn't you? You've had nothing but success. And I think he was able to get back to about the line of scrimmage. I like Branch as well. I think, man, he might be 2-3 years from now considered one of the steals of the 2023 draft without question. But on my clock, I got 4 minutes, 9 seconds to go, 21-14, Detroit in the lead. You know, where's Campbell? They seem to put him in on some plays and then take him out. He's a little bit more limited than I anticipated he would, especially with how he played against Kansas City. But I'm not the coach of this team, so they get to see these guys a lot more often than I do. So, yeah, I'm at 347 as well. And there's a pass. And that's going to be pass interference, I'm guessing. Yep, still almost caught it. But I would say if I'm Detroit, who's initiating the contact there? Metcalf is running into the defensive back. The defensive back, as you all know, has as much right to that ground as anybody else. I would be leaning towards offensive pass interference. But, yeah, they're going to have to talk about it. And really, if it's this big a discussion, it's got to be just pick up the flag. It's not a penalty. If you've got a debate – this fine a detail, who's pushing off? Because there you see Metcalf initiating, and yeah, he stiff arm pushes. At least I'm not saying, and an offensive face mask. Well, I guess, all right. Going to call him on both people, but I would, I guess if I was the defense attorney, I'd say, yeah, the pass interference is a result of my face mask being pulled. So one wouldn't happen without the other. Doesn't matter, though. Let's see, 3:42 left in the third. Detroit's defense, in my opinion, yeah, we talked in the preseason about being thin at the center of the defensive line, just lacking a playmaker, and that's what we're seeing here. There's nobody that's forcing outside runs because you can't get up the middle. Kansas City just favored not going there. And pass rush is non-existent. They are giving Geno Smith 20 Mississippi, but the pass coverage holds up here. And we got an incomplete pass out the left sideline in the end zone. So I'm going to probably, during the break between the third and fourth quarter, have to go get a glass of water because my throat is a little froggy, as I'm sure you guys are hearing. But I've got no issues with the Detroit pass coverage. You know, it's this. I hate saying it, but this is why I do not favor overlooking people. Yep, I got 3:34 on my clock. All right, thanks for that, Dr. D. It looks like I've caught up to you guys, so that's good. They're going to set a blitz up the middle, force out wide. There's the early throw. Ooh, almost a pick six for Kirby Joseph. You know, whether or not he would have made it to the house, I don't know, but you would have definitely had the pick and gone a significant portion of the field. So finally the pressure gets there, and man, just game of inches. Kirby Joseph, I'd say, is about 4 inches from catching that thing clean and being gone to the house, because I just don't think anybody would have caught him. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you guys know the drill. You probably watch 50 of these things a week. So, you know, go ahead and hit the subscribe button or the thumbs up button, like button, whatever you want to call it. All right, Seattle, unfortunately, can't go 0 for 3 on field goals. In Detroit, though, they keep them off the board, out of the end zone, and maintain a 4-point lead. All right, real quick, while there's a commercial, I'm going to go get a water, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm going to restart the broadcast just real quick. I got to go in and fix one thing. So give me just a second. I'll be right back with the broadcast.